What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Mount Jozmore. I'm your host, the man whose name is on the mountain, Mount Jozmore. I'm Joz, and this is another list of my goats. All right, we are doing another, sorry, I'm just adjusting things, getting comfortable here. Doing another list of my top of things. Eventually, we may get to a point where I'm doing worst of things, kind of a negative Mount Jozmore, if you will, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. This week, so in the past so far, if you've been paying attention, I've done the GOATs of the four major sports. And last episode, I did my GOATs of breakfast food. Big breakfast guy, love food, always have. Got a lot of comments and stuff, especially on my TikTok. So Jaws of Life 25 on TikTok gets a lot of love, and then posting these both on like the short clips on Instagram and Facebook has gotten me a little bit of commentary, a little bit of play too. If you're seeing this on there, feel free to follow along on any of these things. I'm not using Twitter as much these days. It's really annoying. I'm not going to call it X, and I struggle with it. I struggle with the Twitter machine, but that's beside the point. So. We did food, we did sports, and the cool part about Mount Jozmore, which is why I wanted to do this, is I can do anything, right? I can do any genre, any list I want, really. So we did sports, we did food, and now we're going to venture into the arts. And by the arts, I mean music, right? Little known fact about me, if you've known me in my adult life, I'm a sports guy, big sports guy, baseball coach, played football, baseball, did MMA, coach baseball. I think I said that. I still play flag football, still play some hardball in the summer, even though I'm getting up there in the age category. But what a lot of people don't know is I actually did play an instrument at one point. Well, at least I tried. I banged the drums for about 3 years through middle school into high school. And essentially, I was basically told through high school that I had to pick either marching band or playing sports. Like, basically, I couldn't keep playing in the bands if I didn't do marching band because they needed percussionists, as we were called. Really, the kids with ADHD that like just making noise. And I'm like, I can't do that. I play football. And that doesn't change the fact, one, I can't sing, can't carry a tune in a bucket. Anybody who's heard me try knows that to be true. And I've never really tried other instruments. I've always thought it would be cool to like play the banjo, play the guitar, play the bass. I tried guitar and bass. It was like taught by a friend in college. Didn't work. Hand cramping with my big man fingers didn't do so well. I'm probably not the biggest person to ever try, but it didn't work for me, and I wasn't a fan. The kid teaching me also didn't have a whole lot of patience for me, so just never really went well. But it doesn't change the fact that I, to this day, have an appreciation for music. It's not the appreciation most people have. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, man, he was off key. I've gone to concerts with people and had people who were in, chorus and stuff like that be like, oh, man, I don't know, he was a little off key today. And I was like, I don't care. It was fun, and I was drunk. But that's beside the point. So this Mount Jozmore is going to be the Mount Jozmore of one-hit wonders. Right? We all know them. We all love them. They are songs that people put out that skyrocketed to the charts, to the top of the charts, and then we never really heard from them again. And if we did, it was nowhere near the same level of success. So this one may be a little bit longer than my last episode, only because the world of one-hit wonders is incredible. There are so many people hit the one-off. Like, you absolute grand slam, just knock it out of the park with one song, and you're like, made it. And then it never really catches fire again. So, again, a couple rules here for Mount Jozmore. First and foremost, it's my list, which means I can't miss. You may not agree, but it's my opinion. Feel free to share yours in the comments. And I only ask one thing, is that's to be respectful, right? Nobody needs, in this day and age, an internet tough guy running his mouth or her mouth, whatever you're into. And so just be respectful, but share your opinions. I love going back and forth with people and, having the conversations with people. So, first and foremost, as I do every single episode, I'm going to start with my honorable mentions, and it's lengthy. So I want you to know, I'm not going to count here, but I would probably say I have close to 20 honorable mentions. Obviously, the 4 for Mount Jozmore. There were legitimately, there was a list of 500 songs that I went through that are all considered one-hit wonders. I narrowed it down. There's some on here. There's some honorable, like ones that are probably worthy of a mention that didn't make my honorable mention list, because I'm like, at that point, I'll just read the whole list of 500. Some songs I'd never heard of. And so, without further ado, the honorable mention of Mount Jozmore for the one-hit wonders starts with everyone's either, it's not favorite, but it used to be a wedding favorite, I believe. High School Dances, you did it a lot. The Macarena by Los Del Rio, which, funny story, and completely unrelated accidental knowledge find today, but I found out today that apparently the Macarena is a song about a girl cheating on her boyfriend with his friends while he's either out of town and or on deployment. I kind of read both. Didn't really dig too deep. It was actually like a ranker list that I came across of like songs you didn't know their meaning. Apparently the Macarena, Hey Macarena, is about that. And at one point, apparently this girl, her boyfriend's friend and another one of his friends go to France together. A little entendre there, if you know what I mean. But I mean, it's hard to mention a one-hit wonder list without mentioning the Macarena. The song is only as popular as it is because of the dance. If it wasn't for the dance that goes along with this song would not make honorable mention, but everyone knows the dance. Hard not to mention it. Honor being a question mark, I guess. But worth mentioning because of how intrinsic this song was to everyone. There were points like in middle school, like I don't know about anybody else, but in middle school and high school, in gym class, we had, especially like early on, we had like dance as a physical education unit. So like you look like at my school, you'd sit there and you'd look at like, okay, I have 6-period gym. These are the 4 teachers. I was assigned to a teacher, but when you got there, they're like, okay, here are the 4 teachers that are teaching this period. This is what we're covering. You have to pick one. And there were 2 things that they all had in common. They all did a swimming unit and they all did a dance unit. The dance unit was at the same time because they just mixed everybody together. And we all learned the Macarena, along with other line dances and square dances. But the Macarena was numero uno. It's like middle school and high schooler. You knew it. Never heard of another song by Los Del Rio. And I'm sure somebody in the comments will tell me that, look up the song. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to tell me about it if it's a one-hit wonder. Next up, we're going to go Tainted Love by Soft Cell. Again, I can't carry a tune in the bucket if you've heard this song. You may not know it by the title, but you've heard the song, bare minimum. And I want to say, and if I get this wrong, my man Austin's probably going to drive to my house and throw a baby bottle at me from one of his kids. But I believe Tainted Love at one point was in The Wedding Singer, was probably where you would know it from. Not positive on that. Don't quote me. I could be wrong. Everybody knows I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. Yeah. Probably not going to clip that one because I don't need that many people saying it quite yet, but that's the weird side of me coming out. You're welcome. I'm Too Sexy by Right Said Fred. If you haven't heard it, I don't know what to tell you, but that was a 90s movie and probably like a 90s sitcom trope almost, right? Like any like comedy that had someone like getting dressed for something, like that song was playing in the background for fun. Like, I don't know why, but they were. This next one plays into my high school rivalry a lot. I love this song because, so I went to one of the two high schools involved in one of, if not the longest, soon to no longer be running, rivalries in high school. And my one business teacher, Mr. Keefe, don't know if he's still around. Hope he is. Love the man. He was awesome. One of my favorite teachers. He had a little plush doll. And by doll, I mean it was a little plush, like, dog. And when you pushed his hand, he started dancing. And Who Let the Dogs Out by the Baha Men started playing. And he put, like, a fake sash and crown on this thing that said Depew Homecoming Queen. It was funny. It was stupid. You heard this song ad nauseum for a week when you were in his class. If you walked by his class was attached to the school store, so you'd hear it echoing down the hallway that connected his classroom to the back of the school store. This song in the early 2000s took the world by storm. We still don't know who let the damn dogs out, but someone did. And the Baha Men want to know. They did have another song. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Catchy, fun, but nowhere near as popular. Like, not even in the ballpark. You were just like, oh, this is kind of a cool song by the Baha Men. That's cool. And then, like, you listen to 4 minutes or 4 seconds of it and change it. Be like, whatever, I'm moving on. I believe this next one was going to be a probably like a late 80s, early 2000s, like, rebel anthem of We're Not Gonna Take It. If you can't figure out why it would be like a rebel album or a rebel call, per se. I don't know what to tell you. It literally says, we're not going to take it. And the lyrics are, we're not going to take it anymore. Another big one across the board. In my brain, and I didn't look this up before I started recording, but in my brain, Twisted Sister did other things that are probably close to at least as popular, maybe. But I could be wrong. It has happened before. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. But another big one, this was like, again, late 90s, early 2000s. Maybe even earlier than that. Again, time frames. I'm getting old. It is what it is. Baby Got Back by Sir Mix-a-Lot. Probably most people, like most guys my age, first introduction to like a music video that had nothing but big butts on it. For me growing up, that was, you see a Sir Mix-a-Lot video and it's just girls shaking their ass to the song Baby Got Back. And you're like, what's up, baby? But yeah, so everybody knows that one. That one even made a reference in Friends, a sitcom that hasn't aged well apparently, but one of my favorites regardless, was Ross and Rachel singing Baby Got Back to their baby to get it to stop crying. And again, when you talk about a one-hit wonder being a song that transcends mediums, right? It makes it in a ton of movies or it makes it in sitcoms or TV shows, like hard to ignore. As far as, it being a good, not a great, maybe not a great, but a really good one-hit wonder. Another favorite of mine here that, again, when I get to my 4, when I get to the actual Mount Jozmore portion of this, not just the honorable mentions, you're going to look back and be like, yeah, maybe there's one or two you don't agree with, but they're special to me. Again, my list can't miss. So Play That Funky Music, in parentheses, White Boy. One of my favorites. Just, I want to say The New Guy, the movie. Weirdly, I believe his band played the song. Like the main character, the goofy dude, who ended up, I believe, being in Supernatural down the road. Like the main character, like his band sang this song and they crushed it. Whether it was them singing it or not, they did. It looked like they did really well. By Wild Cherry. So that's another fun one for you. Probably one that a lot of people like don't know, but I don't know why I love this song as much as I do. But Blinded by Science. I don't have a whole lot to say. I just know I don't seek the song out, but when I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, Blinded by Science. Nice. Turn That Beat Around by Vicky Sue Robinson. In my head, I see this in like movies and stuff, when there's like some weird, I don't want to say like high school dance scene in a movie, but maybe, I don't know. I'm getting myself confused here because a lot of music is just playing in my head right now. And, we all know how that goes when you have ADHD. So Turn the Beat Around, another good one. It's going to be, in parentheses, 500 Miles by the Proclaimers. They would walk 500 miles and then they'd walk 500 more just to be the man who'd walk 1,000 miles just to fall down at your door. shout out to if one of my favorite shows, Shoresy. The most recent season, the man gets told by a girl he's trying to court, what do I got to do to be with you? And she tells him to run a marathon. He runs the marathon, ending at her house, collapses on her front lawn, and just said he's doing what he needs to do. The Proclaimers did it first there, Shores. Just saying. And this one obviously was on loop if you were a How I Met Your Mother fan. Just every episode with a Fiero in it was walking 500 miles and then 500 more. Then the next one here, I'm looking at it going, okay, I don't know how many other songs you planned on having. You nailed this one, right? So the band name is the Weather Girls. The song is It's Raining Men. I know you don't need your band name to play into your songs, but when you hit it with It's Raining Men and your name, your group name is the Weather Girls, I feel like you almost have to steer into it. Like, is the next one going to be like, It's a Dude Blizzard? I don't know. Again, your band name doesn't need to play into your music every step of the way, but that just feels like you kind of set yourself up for failure by not being able to do it consistently after you did it the first time. Again, I don't know if it's their first song, but it's the only big one they had. You know, it'd be like Weird Al Yankovic putting out a weird song and then every other song being normal, and you're like, but I thought you were weird. Anyway, 8675309 in parentheses Jenny. Everybody knows this song, and this is probably the single most dialed phone number in history ever, aside from maybe 911. Hard to argue with it because, again, imagine being somebody who at one point before this song came out, that was your phone number. And that was back in a day when you didn't necessarily need area codes to call people, which was a wild thing that was a thing for me when I was growing up. You could just dial somebody's number. Like just those. Like you could just hit 8675309. And if that number existed in your area code, it would connect you. Now, the reason that area codes exist is because now I live in the 716. Rochester's 585. So if I dial 8675309 and there's somebody with that number in Buffalo and somebody with that number in Rochester, the area code is what dictates who you call. So it became important, especially as the number of phone numbers out in the world increased incredibly. But Tommy Two-Tone dropping 8675309 probably ruined at least one person's life for a long time. Like, imagine being that guy, like, no, this isn't Jenny, damn it. Like, yeah. How Bizarre by OMC. This one took me a minute when I read it, and I was like, oh, yeah. And again, I can't sing, so I'm not going to try. But you've heard the song. And if you heard different portions of the song, you're like, I don't think I know this. And then you hear, how bizarre, how bizarre. Probably not how it goes, but something along those lines. Again, I can't sing, so stop asking me to. You're not asking. There's nobody else here. That's beside the point. Another good one. Again, this one feels like a rom-com. No, but it made movies of some kind. I probably should have looked this up a little bit more. But again, I'm not trying to go into like an hour in these Mount Jozmore episodes because, let's be honest, nobody's attention span's that long to sit here and watch my head bob around while I talk. But I do love this song. It's probably not as popular, but it's, again, hits home for me, so I had to mention it. Funky Town by Lips Inc. This one of my favorite references to this was in South Park when they're trying to return Towley to where he came from to get their Okama GameCube, I believe it was. And he's like, wait, I can remember the passcode. Maybe if I just get a little high. And he's like, doot doot. Doot, 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 doot. And he's like, yeah, that's it. That's the passcode? No, that's the beat to Funky Town. Like, Funky Town is just, and Funky Town, because it rhymed with a kid I coached name, became a kid's, who loved Disco Thursday. We used to do Disco Thursdays. We played disco music while we practiced on Thursdays. And this kid named Tony loved it, so he became Funky Town. Because Funky Town rhymed with his last name. So, special place in my heart on this one. My next one by C.W. McCall, the song Convoy. if you've never heard this song, it's dumb. It is very dumb. I love this song because of the guy's voice, right? So the whole thing, like, Breaker 1-9, this here's a rubber duck. You got a copy on me, Pigpen? Come on. And it's trucker speak on a CB radio. It kind of sounds like it. It absolutely sounds like it. If I had my stuff set up, I could probably make myself sound that way, and I don't want to do that right now because I don't know how to. I haven't done it. I don't have a preset, so I'm not going to try. But like the whole thing, got ourselves a convoy. Just a great song. If you've never heard it, give it a listen one time. It's just, the guy's voice is really cool. I appreciate it, and I've never heard of anything else by C.W. McCall. So, dude hit it pretty hard on that one. This next one made a scene in Biodome a lot of fun. If you haven't seen Biodome, it's a Pauly Shore movie. A lot of younger people watching this are going, what the hell's a Pauly Shore? But Pauly Shore and his buddy, two absolute idiots, get locked into a biodome, and the entire idea is that it's supposed to be like 5 or 6 scientists like sustaining life for a year inside an enclosed ecosystem to see if it would be possible to like live and survive and sustain on your own, like just off what you can grow and cultivate and everything else. And Pauly Shore and his idiot buddy end up locked in there as well. They end up finding a key to a window. Like the doors aren't able to be unlocked except by the system when the time's up. Kind of a faulty thought where like if something happens, like you're just going to die because they're not able to come get you because like the thing just, it's auto lock, auto unlock. But they find like one of the key, like a big swinging open window with a key in it that goes to the outside world. They end up throwing a party, ruining the whole thing. And as they're cleaning it up, Safety Dance is playing, and they're like skipping through like the gardens just to Safety Dance by Men Without Hats. And leading to a very important life lesson that you can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind because your friends don't dance. And if they don't dance, well, they're no friends of mine. So sorry about that. Lost a little bit of my honorable mention list, and I was actually deleting it on my note as I was going, so I can't go back and reread it. The last two were Whoomp There It Is and Kung Fu Fighting by Tag Team and Carl Douglas collectively. But no need to go back and rehash that. I was able to clip most of it. So sorry about that again, guys. But without further ado, we are going to dive in to the actual structure of Mount Jozmore of one-hit wonders. Now, every one of these songs, for one reason or another, has a special place in my heart or a reason it made the top 4. I just read off a whole buttload of other songs that could have made this list. And they all got honorable mention. So the 4 that are on here all have a special place for me. The first one is one of my favorite songs ever. And this song is one hit wonder so good that they re-released it like in the last 2 years with an update. So, spot number 1, and again, these are no particular order. Spot number 1 on Mount Jozmore for my one hit wonders is the song Mbop by Hanson. And again, they came out with this song again recently in the last 4 or 5 years called Mbop 2.0, which is just a redo of the same song. It's not a different like it's technically a different version, I guess, but it's the same song, but like with a little bit different music and beat behind it. Like it's a little bit more rockish, not like heavy metal, but like it's not as like late 90s, early 2000s pop as it was the original. But this song is so damn good that it's one of those songs that's hard to play. Like if you go to a bar and put Mbop on the jukebox, people are going to sing along, get into it. And it's the dumbest song on the planet. Like you think about the lyrics like Mbop, dip-a-dop, ba-doo, up, doo-y-dop, ba-doo, bop, dip-a-dop, ba-doo. Yeah. Like there's not a whole lot of lyrical genius going on there from the Hanson brothers. And we're not talking about the Hanson brothers from the Slapshot movies. We're talking about three blonde-haired children singing and then re-singing it again as they're older in the remastered or in version 2.0. But spot numero uno on Mount Jozmore goes to the Hanson boys for their song Mbop. And it's funny because I know for a fact, I know at least one Hanson fan that'll tell you that they're not a one-hit wonder band. Yes, the hell they are. I don't care what you say. I don't care how many songs you know. They're a one-hit wonder band. Period. That's it. That's all there is to it. The only song that anybody knows is Mbop, unless you are a diehard Hanson fan and you've been to concerts and stuff. And I'm telling you, there are people who went to Hanson concerts because they liked Mbop so much, and they left going, I feel like I wasted money because I heard more songs than Mbop, and the only one I cared about was Mbop. But I digress. The next one, spot number 2, Mount Jozmore, is from one of... Okay, the song itself is not from one of my favorite movies. His second most popular song. So this is Vanilla Ice, so you know I'm coming in with Ice Ice Baby. He had another song called Ninja Rap. Okay? Ninja Rap was from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, Secret of the Ooze. Specifically written for it. I have never seen somebody gain so much popularity from one song that he, to this day, rests on the laurels of the song Ice Ice Baby. It got him the song Ninja Rap in the second Ninja Turtles movie, back in the day when it was the dudes in the rubber suits doing choreographed fighting. And this guy was apparently, I just read another one of these stupid ranker things that I get lost in on the interwebs. He was apparently problematic to work with even then. Your second most famous song was a song you wrote specifically for a movie about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And this dude acts like he had the rap career of Eminem. Elite. Elite level delusion. I love it. I'm all for it. And Ice Ice Baby is such a funny song as a whole. Like, and it's one of those songs that you hate that you love, and I know you love it. Don't lie to me. I know you love it. I know it. I'm aware. Yeah, if you haven't seen or heard anything of Mr. Ice, the dude is an extra large cup of Delulu, triple cream, double crazy, and I support it. I don't know why, but I do. I'm not a fan. I just like the song. Ninja Rap was good too. And I loved the movie. So I loved Secret of the Ooze. So, but Ice Ice Baby was just, it crossed so many things, right? Like, there weren't a whole lot of people like Vanilla Ice doing hip hop and or rap. And at the time, he was the one. He's been blown out of the water ever since by aforementioned Eminem. But I mean, like, him believing what he was as a hip hop / rap artist was the level of delusion that like Machine Gun Kelly has about any genre he jumps into. And I walked out to one of my fights to a Machine Gun Kelly song. So, that kind of tells you that. But like, that dude going after Eminem is the level of delusion that like is an average day for Ice. It's wild. Absolutely wild. We're going to dial into my country upbringing. So for those who don't know, I grew up listening to almost exclusively country music. That's what we had in the car back in the day when you're on a trip. Mom and Dad would bust out the old, like, suitcase-looking thing, pop it open, and there's just cassette tapes, and you played them, and then the newer ones, you ejected them and turned them over. So instead of rewinding to listen to everything, you played it the other way on the other side and other songs played. And one of my favorite songs, this is in my opinion, the one-hit wonder country song. And there are plenty of people, Big and Rich, To Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy comes to mind right off the bat. I want to say on the list I was looking through earlier for my honorable mentions, the night the lights went out in Georgia, I believe was on that list. I don't want to talk too much because I could be missing the mark here, which has happened before. But Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus. This song was so damn popular, it got his daughter a show on Disney or Nickelodeon or whatever. Miley Cyrus. Like, he was so popular with this stupid song that his daughter got a TV deal out of it. Diving into the lyrical genius of Achy Breaky Heart. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. I just don't think he'd understand. 'Cause if you tell my heart, my achy breaky heart, he might blow up and kill this man. Ow. If you dive into the lyrics of the non-chorus, it's even better. I don't have it in front of me. Can't pull it up off the top of my head. Don't know why. I know why, because I have 900 songs in my head at the moment. But I digress. Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus. This song, I will play this song on repeat. Some point this summer, I guarantee you, I will be in my Jeep with the top down, hopefully with the doors off, because I'm looking into getting the tube doors for the summer for a little bit if I can, if the weather's going to be nice enough for a stretch of time. And I want to, and I will. I guarantee you all 4 of these songs. So the first 2 I've mentioned, now the third one, Achy Breaky Heart will probably start it, where I have this cranked as loud as it'll go, and I am cruising around town. Don't tell my heart, my achy breaky heart. Guarantee it. I guarantee it happens because I am that guy. I am the weirdo that will do that. Speaking of the weirdo who does that, we are going to come to easily, if I were to rank my Mount Rushmore, Mount Jozmore, Mount More of one-hit wonders, this would be number 1. This next song, saved the best for last, which I don't always do, saved the best for last. And it's because this song back in the day was a song that I would listen to. I spent a summer playing baseball up in Canada. And I didn't live in Canada, so that meant 2 to 3 times a week, me and the boys jump in the car, hop in the border, driving over the ditch to go play Canada ball, as I called it. And we went up there and we whooped some ass. It's what we did. It's how we operated. Standard operating procedures. Might even say it's our modus operandi, or our MO, if you will. And after we laid a whooping on these hosers and these Canucks, we'd get in, whether it was my silver Saturn SC2, my buddy's like midnight royal blue, I want to say it was a Chevy Cobalt. Those are the 2 cars. Those are like there would be 3 to 4 of us in the car. Actually, I think it would be 3 to 4 of us. It would be me, him, his girlfriend at the time, and whether or not we were driving up our other buddy who didn't drive. Still to this day doesn't drive, actually. And once we laid the smackdown on these knuckleheads in America's pastime, we'd get in the car, we'd pop in the aux cord, because that was back in the day of aux cords. If you were me, I had the little FM transmitter, so you'd find a dead FM station and have a little FM transmitter gizmo plugged into your cigarette lighter thing, back when those were still cigarette lighter things and not aux jacks or whatever they call them now. And we would dial up Lou Bega, Mambo number 5. We would drop the windows, and it didn't matter if it was a Sunday afternoon and we were leaving the park, or if it was a Tuesday at 11 p.m. We rolled the windows down, we cranked that sumbitch, and we blasted Lou Bega's Mambo Number 5, in parentheses, a little bit of, as loud as we could, and we belted it from our toes as loud as we could through the suburbs of the different parts of Canada we played in. Different parts of Ontario, not all of Canada. We didn't go that far because we had to drive back home. It was never an overnight. It was drive back home that night. Here we are. So yeah, there is my Mount Jozmore of one-hit wonder songs. Thanks for coming along for the ride, everybody. This was a good time. I enjoyed this. I enjoy that I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the YouTube thing. I do apologize for the technical difficulty. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. But it is what it is, and we fixed it, and hopefully in post-edit it can be adjusted accordingly. There will be a little bit of a glitch, so I can finish the last thing I was saying before the glitch, or as the glitch started. But yeah, hopefully we get back into that, so bear with me on that. I apologize for that being a thing. And then, as always, guys, if you are struggling, if you are fighting, if you are in the crap, as they say, I'm here to tell you, bad times don't last, and it can't rain forever. Just keep going. You'll come out of it. Trust yourself, keep doing the work, and you'll come out. Can't rain forever. The sun's going to shine eventually. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This has been another episode of Mount Jozmore. I'm Joz, and I will catch you next time.